Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Sherard Show. I'm your host, Sherard. Hope you're having a wonderful Friday, ladies and gentlemen. It's wet here in Los Angeles, but we have a very exciting show this afternoon. We're going to be talking to a young up-and-coming fighter. He's 2-0. He was top ranked as an amateur, and now he's a pro. And we're going to be kind of talking about his career, as the things he has coming up, as well as his boxing aptitude. He's young, but he's very wise, above his years, and we're going to be talking about boxing as well. But before we get to Raleek, the Sherard Show is brought to you by the Pure Essence Television Network, where you can see some of the greatest episodes now trending, from the Michael Spinks interview, the Temptations, the Isley Brothers, the late great Mary Wilson, Jerry Butler, Joe Montega. You name them, they are in the Pure Essence Television Network app. Just click on it, or you can watch it on YouTube as well. And it's also brought to you by iHeartRadio. If you missed this broadcast on television, you can also listen to it on iHeartRadio. And lastly, it's brought to you by my Ra-Ra's limited edition shoes. These shoes help to fight for this cure for lupus, an illness that I suffer with every day. Just purchase a pair today, and 20% of the proceeds go to the fight for the cure for lupus. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this guy is good. He can box, he can fight, he is 2-0, he is on a roll, and he's on the Sherard Show to talk boxing, his career, and when did he know that he was deemed to be destined to be a fighter? The man himself, Raleek, welcome to the Sherard Show, sir. How are you?
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Sherard Show, for having me on, man. I really appreciate it. I just want to give a little backstory about me. I'm 19 years old, 2-0 pro boxer. My name is Raleek Born, aka Young Vegan Boxer. I started boxing when I was 9 years old, and I had my first fight at 10, and I had around 180 amateur fights. Through the years, I've been traveling everywhere, state. I went through different countries to fight. I just been everywhere, and I was ranked number 2 in the country right before I turned pro as well.
Wow, that's wholly impressive, Raleek. 180 amateur fights, fighting in different countries and things like that. Fighting since you've been boxing since you've been 9 years old. Is that usually the age is good to start boxing so you can have a shot at being a qualified pro?
I mean, I feel like I started at the perfect age to where I wasn't forced to do it, but at the same time, I'm at that age where I can still really get in the ring and still hone my skills as a fighter. Because a lot of people, some people start a little earlier, but I kind of like the range I started at. Um, it was really perfect for me because I wasn't forced into it. I just liked it, and I just pursued it, and I just kept going full force, no stopping.
Now, what do you love about boxing? Because that's the only sport where you don't play. You play basketball, you play football, but you don't play boxing. But you have a cachet. You kind of got a Zab Judah kind of thing going on. But my question is, what do you love so much about boxing? Knocking people out, the art of boxing, or what?
I mean, I like everything about boxing, honestly. I like the individuality of it. You don't have to depend on others for this sport. I like the way it's just only hands. I mean, UFC and all that, you can do kicks and everything, but with boxing, it's strictly hands. So you have to hone on one skill. So everything is depending on one skill. You can't opt out for wrestling. You can't opt out for kicking somebody. Everything you got to use your hands is one skill. So you got to focus on that one skill, and you can't do nothing else about it. If
Now, what
someone's
do you,
rushing you, you got to hit them with the right hand. You can't tackle them. You can't do none of that.
Now, 180 amateur fights. What's that like, fighting that many amateur fights, and then all of a sudden turning pro? I mean, when is it enough amateur fights when you say, you know what, it's time to turn pro? When did you know it was your time to turn pro?
Well, honestly, throughout the years, we was just really focused on getting the experience, honestly. So we weren't focused on wins, losses, or nothing like that. We were just focused on experience, getting the most fights we can. And around when I was around like 17 years old, we started thinking about the conversation of turning pro. And then we started reaching out to different people. And then we made the decision to sign with Freer Ricky Ross as a manager. And from there, it's been great. But before I turned pro, honestly, the decision was I won that national tournament right before I actually turned pro. So we were like, I could do another national tournament, but I just missed the Olympics as well because I could have went to the Olympics also, but my birthday was February, and your birthday had to be in January to be able to go to the Olympics. So
Wow.
I missed it by 1 month, and I would have to wait 4 years.
Now, what was your amateur record?
I have no clue, honestly. I have no clue.
Mhm.
I have so many fights. It's like we got to go through all the fights. I really have to do it. I have no clue though. I know it's around 180 amateur fights though, something like that.
Well, now, what was it like the day that you were lacing them up to go pro? Did it still feel like you were an amateur, didn't flinch, or you just knew it was a totally different realm going pro?
The first one, I was actually pretty nervous. I haven't got nervous in a minute because it's like I've been doing so many fights, amateur. I'm just so used to amateur, and now pro, everything is on the line. So you can't mess up in pro. You can't mess up. So everything's on the line. You know, I had to show out in front of promoters, in front of my family, and all that. So it felt different. You know.
Now, you in the news, you saw 2 weeks ago tomorrow, Gervonta Tank Davis and Lamont Roach fought for with a draw, and it was very controversial in terms of
Yeah.
that. It led to people thinking about the dirty business of boxing. They felt that Tank lost. He took a knee, and basically
Yeah.
they felt like he should have been a point should have been taken, etc. Now, does that concern you? The business of boxing?
Well, the business of boxing always going to stay the same. They're always going to root for the person that's kind of like higher in interest that's going to sell more tickets. So honestly, with that, you will have to just shut somebody out like that. Like somebody of that high of a stature, Lamont Roach would have had to almost knock him out to win, to even be considered to win. He was a little. I mean, he wasn't lucky, but I'm glad they gave him a draw because he definitely deserved it. But a lot of times they would go for the top boxer that sell more tickets.
So you look like the type of boxer that won't leave it in the hands of the judges. Is that you?
Yeah, I don't like leaving the hands of judges, but at the same time, I still take my time and trying to find out the way that the person fights first, and then after that, I like to take them out.
So tell me now, you're a very young man, you're only 19 years old. But tell me, who are some of the boxers that you look up to, or that's your inspiration when you took on this journey of being a boxer?
There's a few boxers that come to mind, such as Muhammad Ali, Pernell Whitaker, Sugar Ray Leonard, Sugar Ray Robinson, Floyd Mayweather, and Tommy Hearns. Definitely Tommy Hearns because he's a tall, lanky boxer. Like me, I'm around 6 foot and I fight at 130 to 135. So
Oh wow, oh wow. So you're
yeah,
you're welterweight.
I think that's light. That might be lightweight. I think that's lightweight.
No, very good. Now that's interesting you mentioned Thomas Hearns because the Hitman was a bad man and he was tall. He stood about
Yeah,
6'1". He had an incredible reach, and that
yeah,
whole division was brutal. You had Marvin Hagler, you had Hitman,
crazy.
you had Sugar Ray Leonard, you had Roberto Duran.
Yeah,
Then along came John the Beast Mugabe. You probably don't remember him. He was a brutal
I heard of
fighter.
him. I heard of him before. Yeah,
He
no,
was
I heard of him.
he was incredible. So now, what are your thoughts in terms of where you think you're going to go or where you want to take your career?
Honestly, I want to take my career all the way through. I want to help out my family, and I want to become a world champion one day. But around the weight wise, I'm probably going to end up around because my dad, I'm still getting taller because my dad is a little like around 6'3". I'm still getting taller. I'm still growing. So I might end up around like 140, 140, 147. But at the end of the day, I want to be named as one of the top boxers that ever did it in the world. And also, as a vegan boxer, a lot of people doubt me in that aspect. So I want to show the world that I can do it as
Now,
a
now,
vegan as
uh,
well.
now, Freeway Rick Ross is a vegan as well. So is that one of the reasons why he was attracted to signing you as a boxer because of your vegan diet?
That could have been. That could have been. But I mean, we had a connection just off that we were both vegan and our worlds kind of collided. We met at the national tournament and we kind of connected that way. We go out to eat sometimes at vegan places and all that. So it's great to have him on the team.
Ladies and gentlemen, for those who just joined us, we're talking to the up and coming champ, Raleek. He's a boxer. He has a cachet. You can cross between Zab Judah, Muhammad Ali. This kid has it at all. And we're going to be taking your questions momentarily, ladies and gentlemen. Right now, we're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we're going to find out how much boxing this young man knows. I'm Sherard. We'll be right back right after this.
Can your IRA stand up to the next financial crisis that our top economists are saying is at our doorsteps? By allocating a percentage of your IRA into physical gold and silver with a tax-free rollover, you can diversify and safeguard your holdings from turbulent markets and economic downturns by putting your IRA back on the gold standard. Find out how to safeguard your assets with a tax-free rollover with a Genesis Gold IRA, the only IRA that can hold physical precious metals. Call now for your free gold and silver report. Protect your IRA today with one simple phone call and learn how to qualify for up to $10,000 in free silver. Call Genesis Gold Group, empowering faith-driven stewardship.
Call 877-588-0992. That's 877-588-0992. Again, 877-588-0992.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Sherard Show. I'm your host, Sherard, for our Friday conversation with the man himself, this young boxer. He has it, ladies and gentlemen. He has that it factor. Raleek, he's on the first time on the Sherard Show talking about his vegan diet, as well as the boxers that inspired him as well. Now, Raleek, was your dad a boxer as well?
My dad, actually, he used to box a little bit when he was growing up. He was kind of forced into it. But that's kind of where I grew into interest because he always used to watch it and stuff like that. But he never wanted to force me to do it because he was forced. And then when he got forced, he didn't want to do it. So he never wanted to force me into anything.
Very good. Now, what is your style per se? Is it defense first like Pernell Whitaker you were mentioning, Floyd Mayweather, or are you more like a combination with Sugar Ray Leonard?
I like to say I'm more of a like a smart and calculated boxer that's very defensive. Not very defensive. All right, let me take it back. I'm a smart, calculated boxer that's defensive and can get aggressive whenever I want to.
Very good, very good. You know, Pernell Whitaker was one of the greatest defensive fighters out there. You couldn't hit him. You couldn't hit him with a kitchen sink. You couldn't hit him with
I
a
know.
semi.
I
He was
like that.
incredible.
I like how his style is. His style is like he gonna miss. You gonna miss a lot of punches with him.
Very good. But you know, one thing that's interesting, you're mentioning you're 6 feet. You're probably going to grow to be 6'3", 6'4". That's pretty dangerous when you're that tall and have a reach a la Thomas Hearns. Don't you agree?
Yeah, that's very dangerous because a lot of these shorter guys, they can't come in. You're gonna stick the jab out on them, and then once they worry about the jab, you throw down with the right hand, and it's over with.
So now, do you have your next fight on deck already?
Yeah, so it's looking like I'm gonna be fighting in Houston in April. Houston in April on the Red Hour show. It may be on TV DAZN actually. So
Very good. Now, what is it like for you the night before your fight? I mean, you know, a lot of times, for example, you know, boxers like Floyd, I always say, it's just another day in the office. He doesn't really look at any boxer any different from any others. Is that really a truism, or that's just what boxers say just to psych themselves up?
Well, I feel like it depends on the stature of the fight. Like a lot of the times when you're used to the bright lights, you kind of it's like another day. It feel like another day, and so I've been under the lights a lot of times, so it feels like the same thing. Honestly, obviously you're gonna have those nerves, but you get used to it. You get used to it a lot. So it's like I like all the people there. I like seeing the people. I like seeing all my family across the stands. I like people cheering my name on. So I love it. You know, it doesn't bother me at all.
All right, so ladies and gentlemen, we're going to test the aptitude of Raleek to see. Now, there's no right and wrong answer, just his preference, or who does he feel would win in a hypothetical fight situation. You ready, Raleek?
I'm ready. I'm ready.
All right. So, if Floyd Mayweather in his prime fought Sugar Ray Leonard in his prime, who would you think would have won?
I got Floyd Mayweather.
Okay, very good. And why would you say that?
I would say that because Floyd Mayweather in his prime was very aggressive. And I feel like obviously Sugar Ray Leonard, he has the defense, but I feel like Floyd's aggression will kind of break that defense. And at the same time, Floyd still can be defensive when he wants to. But Floyd in his prime will get real aggressive and he's smart at the same time. So I feel like Floyd's offense was better than Sugar Ray. You said who again?
Sugar Ray Leonard or Floyd Mayweather?
Sugar Ray Leonard, yeah. Yeah, Floyd. I got Floyd.
Okay. Very good, very good. Okay, and we're getting your reaction, audience. I see your reaction. All right, number 2, a prime James Lights Out Tony against a prime Mike Tyson.
Ooh, I gotta go Mike Tyson. I mean, I gotta go Mike Tyson for sure. Yeah,
Very good.
obviously.
Very
Yeah, I
good.
gotta go Mike. I gotta go Mike.
Okay, all right, good. They're loving you. They're loving your answers, young man. They're loving
Yeah, I
your
gotta go
answers.
Mike.
All right, we're going to do the last one. A prime Marvin Hagler or a prime Thomas Hearns. We know they fought, but do you
Mm,
know who won the battle between those two? Now, before you answer, it was the greatest 3 rounds in boxing. It was
it
listed,
was. It
greatest 3
was.
rounds. But they fought more than once. But my question is, who do you think was the better boxer?
The better boxer. I gotta take. I will have to take Marvin Hagler. Yeah, I will have to take Marvin Hagler. I mean, I really do like Tommy Hearns, but the thing about Tommy Hearns, he kind of he liked his power a little too much. Like he was going to knock him out in the first round. He should have stayed a little bit smarter in the beginning, because Marvin Hagler, he has a crazy. He's not gonna get knocked out easily. He has a crazy chin. He's not gonna get knocked out easily.
The comments say this kid know his boxing. I agree. This kid knows his boxing. Very good. All right, that leads us to the questions. We'll take 3 questions. We don't have time for all. He's a very busy young man. But this question is from, okay, this one is from Mr. Michael Wiley. He is from Syracuse, New York. He said New York in the house. He said it's
Yes, sir.
brilliant. This is a brilliant young boxer. His question is, what do you think in the future people are going to remember you by as a boxer?
Well, a lot of people are first gonna recognize me by my veganism diet, the way that I eat. And another thing that people are gonna recognize me is my skills, because I've been practicing my skills all my life. So people are gonna, they're gonna look at that and see that I've perfected this, not perfected, but I've been perfecting this thing over the years, and they're gonna see what I do in the ring.
Very
And
good.
they're gonna question my diet, because a lot of people, they do look at my diet, because I've been vegan for so long. I've been vegan for almost around the time that I've been fighting as well.
Very good. Now,
Yeah.
does the vegan diet, does it work against you, like if you have to do a catch weight or anything like that?
Well, nah, it doesn't. It doesn't. I also have a nutritionist too, just to make sure I'm not losing any muscle, make sure I'm getting enough protein, make sure I'm getting my vitamins in, and make sure I'm losing weight correctly. So it definitely doesn't harm me. I check up with him, make sure, get all my body measurements in, and it's definitely helpful for my career.
Very good. Michael, I appreciate your question as well. This one is from Danica. This is from Danica. She's from Tallahassee, Florida. She said it's very exciting when Sherard has boxers on the show. I agree. Absolutely. Her question is, how many fights do you have to fight / win to get a title shot?
To get a title shot, it's not the exact number of fights. It's honestly about, but if I say a range would be around 15 on the early side to 25. 15 would be very, very early though. But some people can do it if they're like a lot of people that come off the Olympics, like Lomachenko, he got his first title shot, I think, like his third fight. It was crazy because he was coming off 2 Olympics. That's like 2 Olympics is almost unheard of. So he almost got the title shot almost instantly. But a lot of people on the earlier side, 15. And in the beginning stages of pro boxing, you got to build yourself up, build your recognition, you're building your fights, you're building your experience in the pro level, in the pro game, and then you get that title shot. You can't just jump in the waters a lot of times.
Very good. Thank you, Danica. Excellent question. Time for last one. This is from Dominique. This is from Dominique. She's from Surprise, Arizona. Her question is, when do you or do you know that you can take a punch?
Yeah. Yeah, I know I can take a punch for sure. But the thing about it is that my defense is very good to where I don't, obviously you're gonna get hit, but I don't take a lot of damage because I'm a very defensive minded fighter, but I can also get aggressive when I want to. and I definitely feel like I can take a punch. I never been dazed in a fight. I never been hurt. I never been wobbled. But a lot of people, that happens to a lot of people, you know. But if it does happen, you just gotta keep. You gotta do what you gotta do, and you should have your strong legs. You should be able to just keep persevering throughout whatever you go through. And you know, I've been prepared. I'm prepared to whatever happens. But my defense is good to where I don't have to. I didn't deal with it yet. Out of 180 fights, I didn't deal with it yet. So
Now, my question to you, and we're going to get you out of here, Raleek, is there money to be made in amateurs, or you have to go pro in order to start making money?
the money to be made in amateurs is very, very little unless you are a top level amateur and you're getting like sponsorships. There's literally like, yeah, there's no money to be made in amateur unless you're that high of a level. Not, I mean, you can be high of a level, but you have to be a high level in the like industry, in the social media industry, to be able to get money
Oh,
from sponsorships. So you can be at the highest level, you can be ranked number one in the country, but if you don't have that social media, I know people that's ranked number one that don't make money, but somebody that's like ranked number 8 or 10, he has a big social media following and he makes a lot of money. So
very good. Great. We really appreciate all you all's questions. We don't have time to get to them all. Raleek, where can they reach out to you for their further questions and comments?
well, once again, my name is Raleek Born. You can hit me up on Instagram, youngvegan_boxer. And that's again, youngvegan_boxer on Instagram and on YouTube, TikTok, Raleek. But make sure y'all follow my journey. You can look me up on Google, Raleek Born, Young Vegan Boxer, same thing. And you know, follow my journey. I'm gonna be a world champion one day. And you're gonna be seeing my name, my face very, very soon in the big lights.
And you saw him here first on the Sherard Show. This kid is doing something. He just got the it factor. Any final thoughts? Any final thoughts, Raleek?
You know, my final thoughts are just that I've been doing this for so long, it's just bound to happen. I'm gonna be big one day.
Thank you, Raleek. We
I'm
thank
gonna
you
be
so much
big.
for stopping by on the Sherard Show. This guy is very promising. Definitely want to subscribe to the Pure Essence Television Network on YouTube, as well as download the app, see some of the greatest episodes of your life, and join us. We are going to be in our studios in Los Angeles. Take pictures of where we are going to be on our rooftop. We have a very big show coming up. You don't want to miss that, and stop in the audience as well. And then also join us on our next episode of the Sherard Show with a lovely Holly Berry, who is stopping by the show as well. Beauty and Brains. You don't want to miss it. For Raleek and all the wonderful people who support the Sherard Show, always remember the best way to get back on your feet is to miss 3 car payments. I'm Sherard. We'll see you next time. Bye now.